Okay, let's go to the next one. So, fifth one is about zoning, and I'll show different ways of zoning. So the first one will be, or the first two will be from the room book. So defining systems here, and also again in a room book, but by category. If I have categories, uh, uh, yeah, it's okay, but I don't have like a different rooms. Mm, sleeping room. It's okay. So that will be the second one, yeah, by category, and the third one will be by radio button here. So let's go into it. So I have my architecture here, and I can go here in the room book, and now I can assign systems. So I can go here, I can see, okay, this is a some kind of a sleeping room, and I can say that the heating will be some kind of a floor heating. We'll have some kind of a, let's say, air conditioning, cooling, maybe single room ventilation, and no water in this case. We can go to the next one. Again, do the same, single room here, air conditioning, cooling, and for heating. We can go to the terrace. It will have some kind of water, let's say cold water. Let's go to the Wohnzimmer. It's a living room, so let's categorize it. This one we can also categorize. So the living room will have, let's say again, floor heating and maybe some kind of a different ceiling, let's say cooling. And for the ventilation, it will have whatever, some kind of, let's say, residential. And this is basically the way we can define systems and zone in our room book. And since we have all the data in one software, what we can do is we can open the legend and say, show me all systems without any subsystems. So if I press here, show, I can move this here and I can see the legend. So I have 3 rooms where I have cooling, heating, and ventilation, and 1 space where I have water. If I'm interested in maybe only heating, I can show it and I can see, okay, all 3 rooms have floor heating. If I'm interested in, let's say, cooling, for example, and show, I can see that this room has a ceiling uh, cooling, and these 2 rooms have air conditioned cooling. So everything is connected based on this field in our room book. So if I change this and if I add that, for example, this toilet will have some kind of underdoor, let's say, cooling, and kitchen will have some kind of, let's say, outside ventilation. If I zoom out, close this, open the legend again for all systems, I can see that now the systems are added. I can see this, the kitchen, and here is the toilet that has ventilation and only cooling. If I'm interested again in only cooling, I can see it here, and now this toilet is added and it has underdoor conventors. So what also I can do is basically if I define, let's say these rooms have let's say garage. This is again garage, and let's say this is also garage. If I find it, yeah. So if I go to room book state and say by type or zone by type, yeah. So room book state is my type, and if I say that the garage will have wall heating and let's say temperature cooling, no ventilation, and circulation water, let's say, if I go here zone by type and override, so I have add and override. Override will only keep these kind of values in my rooms, and add will add them. So if I had one garage that already has a floor heating, it will have floor and wall heating. But if I click override, then it will have only wall heating. So I'll go here with override, and I can go back here to initial, And now for every garage, I can see that it has wall heating, temperature cooling, and circulation water. And I can also, and this is again the second type of zoning. I can go here to the legend, show legend, and I can see all my data. Also, I can go now here to the water, and I can see the three rooms that I defined as a garage, which there are not in this case, but never mind, have some kind of a water. So this is a pretty fast way to define zones and systems by type. And also a third way, in this case, I'll close the legend, would be to use this radio button where I go into zone mode and I go through the architecture. So I say this room, and this room will have for the heating, let's say for heating. This room will have, let's say, wastewater also. These two rooms or three rooms will have some kind of a ceiling cooling, and this room, for example, will have maybe air diffusers, let's say. If I confirm this and now go to my legend, I can see that also the data has changed, and also in the room book I can see that this data is also updated, which is now a bit confusing because I have a bunch of other data, but if I would to reload the drawing or reload the project, it would be something like this. So I can also do that for this video, and you can choose, do you want to maybe show it like this, or so now I don't have any kind of systems in my room book. So if I go again, let's say here to zone mode, and I select these two rooms, say they will have for heating, then maybe this room will have cold water. These three rooms will have cooling with air condition and ventilation with a single room, and this room will have again ventilation, for example, uh, let's say something else also, so residential maybe, ceiling cooling and radiator heating. So if I confirm this and if I go to my legend, all systems without subsystems, I can see now that it's applied, and I can see in my room book that I have the data that I selected in my radial zoning. So there it is.